2021 has not been a great year for many. I totally understand. For the world, it hasn't been a great year. It has been actually a pretty good year for me personally. Of course, I told many of you I quit my job last November. I started doing YouTube full time in January, and it's really just, taken off over this last year. It's my full-time job now, so I'm so grateful to everyone who watches and for everyone who is, of course, signed up to my Patreon. You guys are the best, and just thanks so much for supporting me. And I would say this is, generally one of the best years of my adult life, especially since I've finished university. Just being able to create so many videos of stuff I really like has just been like really rewarding, and it's just nice to have the time to do that. Not only have the time to do that, but people actually watch them. And just some of the views recently have been like absolutely crazy. Like I can't even believe it. Like when I upload and I get like, I don't know, 4K views in like an hour and a half or something. It's just, so good. I'm trying to enjoy it while it lasts. Let's see how far we can take this channel. Speaking of which, we hit 60k. Today is the 23rd. I'm filming this. You're probably watching this nearer to New Year's Eve. The final chocolate orange. So I've stacked it quite nicely. We've got the blue and then it goes up. We've got the red. So basically for every 5k we get a new chocolate orange. I'm actually moving to Spain in early January for about like 4 or so months. So I can't bring these with me. This will probably be the last one we see for a long, long time. I'm going to keep them all here. So when I get back, we can add however many there are. But here we go. The last one. Isn't that so pretty? Look at that. It's nearly the whole screen. Like, we just need a couple more and we can literally fill up the whole backdrop. But what I wanted to do in this video was take the time to look back over this year and mainly talk about my favourite moments covering the internet and politics this year. And I think you guys will agree, these are probably the funniest moments. Like, I could talk about the bad moments and bad things that happened, but we have enough bad news. Let's just laugh at really, really stupid stuff and stuff that was actually like bringing joy to people, especially on the left this year. I'm not really going to promote stuff today. All I'll say is at the Kavernacle on Twitter and Instagram, come join my Discord and my subreddit. All of that stuff is in the description and probably the pinned comment as well. And if you want to help my channel grow even further, please check out the Patreon. So I have a big list here of like my favorite videos, but I want to talk about the best moments first and the things I think you guys will like. I have to say, my favorite moment of this year, just because of how it happened and the immediate coping afterwards, was when Zack Snyder, the director of the Justice League, the director of 300, loads of nerds absolutely love this guy, popped up on a live stream featuring most of the people involved with Geeks and Gamers who've been singing his praises for months, and basically distanced himself away from them because he says he like doesn't agree with hate, implying that is something that Geeks and Gamers often pushes, which I would say it definitely does. But just to play you some context first, these guys were all talking about like Zack Snyder is for the fans, he's for the fans. These guys actually melt my brain with how much they associate being for the fans as like a right-wing position. They were literally framing the Justice League Snyder Cut as some sort of like right-wing political movement. Like I know Zack Snyder has like pretty right-wing libertarian politics in a lot of his films, but there really was nothing right-wing about this movement at all. But these guys were framing it and saying, he loves the fans. He's not like the rest of Hollywood.
It is Jeremy, joined by Ryan, Kennel, and Lethal Lightning, two mega Zack Snyder fans, two people that I can't even imagine how good it feels to be them today because of the long-awaited, the long battle, the announcement of the Snyder Cut. Wow, there's a lot to talk about. I don't know much about this. I'm obviously not a big Snyder Cut fan in terms of, I'm not a big fan of Snyder's DCE, so I don't know a lot about it. I didn't watch the presentation, but let's just get initial reactions from you guys. Ryan, go.
All right, so this is something that's been going on since November of 2017 when someone said, hey, listen, guys, there's a cut out there that is nothing like this trash you just saw in theaters. It is one that is Zack Snyder's true vision. 21, the Snyder Cut. It's here.
I've seen this concerted effort from a lot of these far left people, the blue check mark brigade, and it just seems like the existence, the mere mention of the existence of the Snyder Cut really, really upsets them. I made a video talking about, man, I'm kind of jealous of you guys because, like, I wish I could feel that excitement. So I've been an advocate of the Snyder Cut. I will argue with Snyder fans all day long, but ultimately, This is huge. This is huge for fans, for people speaking out.
What's going on, Geeks and Gamers? This is Ryan with Dark Outpost and geeksandgamers.com, and Zack Snyder loves his fans, which is one of the things that makes him so much different than the typical people in the Hollywood elites and the media that support them. And that is why so many people have tried to stop Zack Snyder from making his movie. But it is happening, it is here, and now we have the trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League. That Zack Snyder has a fandom that supports him and refuses to let this go and let this die, because that's what Warner Brothers wanted. They made a huge mistake bringing Joss Whedon in to change all of these things.
So somehow he agreed to go on their charity live stream, and fair enough, they are raising money for charity. You know, some awful people maybe raise some money for good causes. Zack Snyder comes on, and this is what he has to say.
He is the one, the only Zack Snyder.
There he is.
Hey guys, how you doing? How's everybody doing?
Good.
Just a quick thing before we get started. I know that on our donation page, we still have the Geeks and Gamers logo. I just want to say that I really we talked about this, and we're really not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers as far as I'm concerned, and I really just want to make that clear. And I also want to just say, in light of recent events, I think we really, if Justice League teaches us anything, it's about coming together, and there's no room for hate. And I just think that it's important. It's an important message. And of course, as the father of the Asian children, it really hits close to home for me.
I'm never ever going to get tired of that. I think it's like the funniest thing that's happened all year. And just like them simping for him so hard as like the figure of this movement, only for him to turn around and say that and just throw it in their face is so funny. What's even more funny is the cope that all of these guys had following, trying to like distance themselves, blame it on like the corporate stuff, and also saying Zack Snyder slandered Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
Out there, I went out of my way when this entire thing started to tell Zack, you might want to understand what's about to happen by being connected to me. Multiple times I talked to Zack about this, and it got to the point where we fully agreed. Yes, it needs to be on New Shay's channel. It got to the point where we knew we needed to take a step back with the Geeks and Gamers brand. And that's totally fine, because the individuals that are part of the brand are still going to elevate their own individual platforms, which in return still helps Geeks and Gamers, which is all I ever want is the individuals to succeed.
Do that. Imagine having some sort of cause. Doesn't matter what it is. Let's remove ourselves from the situation. And you organize something with someone. And as you are presenting this case, doesn't matter. You're raising money. It's for a good cause. It's actually something that's actionable. And the first thing that the dude say, the person that you worked with on this says, yeah, I don't with him, but thanks. That ain't got nothing to do with us. You throw us under the bus, bro. Further in the stream, did he co-sign or did he speak positively, specifically of Geeks and Gamers, knowing damn well that you guys raised the money? Did he bother to make that statement, say thanks to the Geeks and Gamers team for helping us raise all this money? No. But what he did do was make sure that he wanted to separate that, and I think he's associating Geeks and Gamers team with this sort of hatred deal. But
I know what I'm doing, and I know how to play the game, and I know when to be aggressive and when not. And right now is the moment to show what this brand is made of and the individuals in it. But I'm very, very frustrated. Now, here's what we're going to establish on this stream, okay? It's my stream, and I've been slandered with Geeks and Gamers enough tonight, and no matter who we're talking to after what I just listened to Zack Snyder do to me, and I do believe he slandered me. Zack Snyder hopped on the stream after we raised about $60,000 and basically went out of his way to disavow from Geeks and Gamers and also simultaneously speak out against some of the hate that's been going on, a normal virtue signal from a Hollywood person. And that caused a lot of problems. The entire charity stream kind of went on a standstill for the next 20 or 30 minutes. The donations really stopped rolling in. It was a very awkward moment, but I am very, very proud of my team and how they handled themselves. Now, in terms of the comments made by Zack Snyder, it was a very poorly worded PR statement. This was someone who clearly was dealing with a lot. You can see it when he joined, and by what we know from behind the scenes, he definitely was definitely overwhelmed, and he made a very poorly constructed PR statement and then wanted to virtue signal.
Again, that just makes me so happy, because these guys just like live in, like I say, a fan fiction of reality. They construct these bizarre narratives, which I made a video on, to justify their clickbait. Whether or not they believe in this stuff is hard to tell sometimes. You know, we see like the Kathleen Kennedy versus Jon Favreau Civil War, even though Jon Favreau admits he actually really likes Kathleen Kennedy, and it's just like a ridiculous premise anyway. Apparently Kathleen Kennedy making like Brie Larson spin-off Star Wars films. Just absolute fake stuff to get all their fan base both riled up and also get those nice clicks. Now, the celebrity owning the anti-SJW community did not end with Zack Snyder. Also, Shang-Chi himself got involved in this stuff. So basically, Jeremy was talking about how Shang-Chi was going to be a massive flop at the box office. No one was going to watch this. Who cared about this woke new Marvel film? Aren't they all woke at this point? And the actor of Shang-Chi himself actually responded to them on his Instagram, laughing at all their thumbnails. So Simu Liu posted this on his Instagram story, basically gathering all the screenshots of like the quartering, Geeks and Gamers, the Critical Drinker, and other people basically either saying it's going to be, you know, a massive flop, the worst box office ever. And again, it's funny these guys actually acknowledge this stuff. Was a top post on Reddit and things like that. Of course, got the attention of all these guys.
And today, Shang-Chi, the most impactful film of our lifetimes. And I am supposed to admit that I was wrong. Now, why are so many people coming after me saying that my prediction was wrong? Well, I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the latest NPC update sent out by the lead actor of the film, Simu Liu. Now, in this screenshot, where you see the Critical Drinker, you see the Quartering, you see Geeks and Gamers, you see Nerddrotic, Hill versus Babyface, World Class, Clownfish TV, RK Outpost. This right here was their update, because this told them that Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers made a prediction that was wrong. The fact that this guy is worried about YouTubers is like Christmas Day for people like me. This is like Christmas Day. And I am so happy that he decided to do this, because he has made a fool of himself over and over and over and over again. He has continued to make a fool of himself, and he will continue to do so. The comments this guy has made about Bob Chapek, about the Disney CEO, the virtue signaling, the victim mentality from this guy, and now you're bringing random YouTubers into it. It is a beautiful thing, and I am here for it all day long.
I love that, but I also love that Jeremy is once again coping with being called out by someone famous. And the extra fun bits of this moment of 2021, not only did Shang-Chi call him out, Jeremy's own fan base started turning on him in the comments because of his coverage of this stuff and how he just wouldn't take this L. Wow, the comment section is piling on Jeremy today. Jeremy used to be a proud nerd pride like the rest of us. For the past year, Jeremy is hating nerdoms and mocking the fans. Even Midnight Edge occasionally makes a positive video about something he enjoys now and then. Sadly, Jeremy has joined the I Hate Everything club. Jeremy desperately clings to his hate in the face of evidence. Remember how Jeremy said he saw The Mandalorian Season 2 was going nowhere after the first couple episodes? That's how good Jeremy's predictions are. Don't forget that YouTube video where Jeremy said at first he loved The Last Jedi. I know the channel is supposed to hate SJWs, but isn't blindly just hating on anything you deem as SJW just as bad as those on the left trying to cancel everything? You are the same, just on a different side. You can't really criticize a movie when you haven't seen it. It's actually really good. I was honestly surprised. And wasn't it you who said never trust the critic score, just the audience score? Does that only apply to movies you like or when you want a movie to fail? Damn, you fell off. I'm not even regarding views or anything else. You claim to hate SJWs because they blindly hate on things they don't like, but it's ironic how you do the exact same. You are just on the other side of it. You become the one thing you swore to destroy. Man, you flip-flop all over the place. You have bashed this film all year and it's come out with stunning reviews. Hey Jeremy, instead of deflecting from the fact you've been celebrating and promoting the idea was going to flop, opening weekend and fail. How about you take some accountability for that and admit you were wrong? Even the quartering is doing that. And I actually love this stuff, and it gives me some hope that more people can be pulled over to like the progressive direction, because I know a fair few of you growing up as teenagers were anti-SJWs, you watched a lot of these channels, but these fans of Geeks and Gamers and other channels, seeing how full of garbage these people are, how much they lie, manipulate stuff, realizing this guy won't stop and then changing their mind on him is really, really funny. So finally, I've covered this moment a couple of times this year. Another funny thing that happened this year was Steven Crowder getting owned by Ethan Klein and Sam Seder. Basically, Sam Seder is someone the right constantly run away from. He's offered to debate a lot of people. He has debated people like Tim Pool in the past, but a lot of people do not want to debate him. Not even Steven Crowder, who sets up like little stalls saying he will debate anyone. The debate lord himself will not debate Sam Seder. So what happened was Ethan Klein agreed to debate Steven Crowder, but then messaged Sam Seder saying, do you want to debate him instead because you know politics? So Steven Crowder was a bit wise to this and actually made up that his wife was in the hospital to get out of the debate because he believed that Sam Seder might jump in.
DM from Ethan, like a week later or something like that. And he says, hey, Steven Crowder wants to debate me. And he's like, I don't do a political show. He's like, I think you should come on and debate him as I'm, on with him. And so we connect with H3 through Zoom. And like immediately after we're done with the show, and then 4 or 5 minutes later, they go, oh, we just got an email from Crowder's dad that Steven had an emergency. And Ethan says they knew that you were getting off your show early, and they're afraid that you're going to be debating it.
But through pre-recording the majority report, they actually got him in the end. And the results are just so funny. Like this absolute Chad, Steven Crowder, the right-wing hero wearing a gun in every single YouTube video with his holster, ran away like a little baby when confronted with Sam Seder.
And do you know that the Spartans are like practice man love with children?
Oh, geez. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. What did I tell you? He was going to do anything he could to avoid. Oh, there he is. Oh no, Sam Seder. What a nightmare. I had no idea this was going to happen. I thought Ethan was a stand-up guy. This is where we are. Yeah, I told Dave, remember I told you? I said, I guarantee you he's going to do anything he can to avoid the debate.
Well, I just think he believes that he should debate you.
No, he doesn't. He just takes advantage of women with, mental health issues.
Steven,
Ethan Klein doesn't stand up and do his own
I
fighting.
gotta say,
It's just hilarious. Let's bring on FM.
You would do anything to avoid talking to me. I think the point that you made
Yes,
at the beginning of
Joe
this
Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan and Ben
Rubin
and Dave
Ben
Rubin and
Shapiro.
Jordan Peterson and Noam Chomsky and Sam Harris. Everyone's been avoiding
And not just attempting
Sam
to get
Seder.
your audience by jumping in. Want to do it.
Let's have the
Sam,
debate.
come
If
on.
no
I'll
one's
tell you what.
worried,
I have a
let's do
general.
This is a
rule.
great opportunity.
I don't start a
to-
debate based with people on a lie. And how about you get
sabotaging?
How about you get
Steven,
to a
show
30th
yourself,
of the
you
audience
coward.
share?
Steven, show yourself.
30th
Don't show
of the
your
audience.
co-host.
Ethan, you should show
Steven,
yourself.
excuse-
Ethan, how can you respect yourself as a man, brother?
Steven,
so strongly
Steven, you are
that you're
such
not
a
willing to
coward. Stop
debate.
showing your little
I
leprechaun
thought you
co-host who
would
comes
welcome-
out dressed
Hey,
like
Ethan,
your
Ethan, come on,
sidekick.
Ethan, why do you have to bring on a
Show
guy who
Steven.
Don't
Steven,
hide behind the
Don't
glasses.
be a
Sam.
Don't
coward.
say let's debate, Ethan. You've lost
Coward.
All right.
Debate
This
the
is sad.
issues. What
This
does
is
it matter who
Steven,
you
shut
debate,
up.
coward?
All right, good. You guys are good. Thank you.
Coward.
Won't even take off the glasses.
I was right.
All right, yeah,
We
you
knew
can
you
give
would
me
run
the X.
away.
This is-
You run away twice. Cold feet again.
Come on, Steven.
Wow. Wow. Dude, I can't believe he admit to following.
He admitted that he followed the show last week.
We got him.
Admitted that he watched the show last week.
We got
went
him.
early.
What Ethan says about the co-host being a leprechaun always cracks me up. And there was loads of pushback to Sam Seder and Ethan doing this. But the thing I always say, if you're like the best conservative debater, you might be a bit annoyed that they've pulled a fast one on you. But why don't you just debate him anyway? You're so good, you can sit in the middle of a public place and wait for people, mainly college students, to debate you. But when someone else pops up that you weren't expecting, you have to run and cut the feed. Again, I absolutely love this stuff. I hope you guys enjoy this stuff as much as I do. There's been lots of good moments, but I would say those were my top 3 this year. And just hopefully this proves to a lot of people how full of garbage anti-SJWs and right-wingers are, and they are just so scared of having their opinions challenged in front of a live audience. So I just want to talk about my own videos a bit before getting a bit more personal. So I've made loads of content this year. When I actually look back, I'm just like, damn, like I'm pumping out 3 videos a week. Oh yeah, I literally have not had a break. I think I've been grinding on the Sigma grind set since January, the first week of January. I think I had 2 weeks off because I drove to Scotland and around England for 9 days, but I had to pre-prepare videos, meaning I had to do like 6 videos in a week, so I had it covered when I went away. So I really have been absolutely grinding this stuff lately, and this is why I'm making this video on the 23rd, so I can have Christmas off, because I'm just pretty burnt out at the moment. I've been enjoying the success, pretty burnt out, but just talk about some of the videos I've made. I did enjoy my little like internet history series. It's in a playlist called Internet History if you guys are interested in this. I might have missed some, because a lot of people were recommending people to me saying, oh, The Amazing Atheist is good now. Hunter Avalone is good now. So I took a look at their content and decided to make it like a fun video because people have been pointing me in the direction. Amazing Atheist was quite an interesting video because he always had like a consistent through line, but he'd just been a bit of an anti-SJW for a long time and he became like more left-leaning. I don't think all of his takes are like necessarily really, really good. You can watch my video for the criticism. I think he's also responded to the video too, so you can seek that out to see what he thinks of the video I made. Proud of that one. It took a lot of work, a lot of research. The same with the Hunter Avalone one. This one was really crazy because he was so right-wing when he was younger and he significantly changed. But I got a lot of pushback at the end for saying that you don't have to welcome this guy into left-wing communities. You don't have to trust he inherently has good politics now. I think he's kind of proved me a bit right recently when he's trying to defend the CIA and say the CIA is literally like a force for good in the world. I think I've been proven a bit right in my take, and thankfully a lot of you did agree with me, especially people who subscribe to me. Hunter Avalone's chat mod didn't agree with me, but you know, wouldn't expect him to. I also really enjoyed the Ethan Klein video I made, just looking at this guy who I've been like aware of for years and years, but haven't watched consistently, and was put massively off him because he like promoted people like Jordan Peterson on his podcast and got loads of weird people on. But it's nice to see his evolution, so I was really proud of that one as well. Also, my JonTron video was a fun one to make because I was aware of the controversy and some of the awful things he'd said. I'd never actually watched the debate with Destiny before, so watching that and going through it and just being so shocked at how bad this was, and seemingly how everyone has forgotten it as well. Like, this guy just went on a full-on mask-off rant at Destiny, didn't apologize, kind of doubled down on it, has been posting really cringy takes lately as well, and people just like move on despite it still being on the internet. I was watching this video back the other day, but I really liked my criticism of David Pakman video. I just think, like, for me personally, it was very satisfying to like respond to someone in pretty much good faith. Like, if you watch the video, I respond with like my differences of opinion before talking about where he was wrong, because people were pretty surprised I didn't like him. I don't know why they were surprised. I'm a left-wing anti-capitalist. He's a liberal capitalist. I don't think we're very similar on a lot of positions, but that one was fun. And finally, the Abby Shapiro Bioshock ones. Not that fun because I had to watch like 4 hours of their live streams talking about video games. Was fun to dunk on them. And her husband talking about how Bioshock and Red Dead Redemption 2 were pro-conservative. All of those videos are some of my favourite ones in terms of responding to creators. Now going on to like the topic videos that I've really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the anti-work video, and I was actually very surprised at how well it did and the response to it. So basically what I did at the start of the video, I asked people, post in the comments your worst job experience and I will pin the best one. The one I pinned was really, really good, so go check that out. But I just love us all coming together in this comment section and talking about the awful experiences we've had under the capitalist, I guess, 9-to-5 work week, and how exploitative it is and how awful we've all been treated. In the video itself, I talked about my own personal experience with an awful job and how damaging that was, like my mental health, my physical health, how depressing it was and everything like that. So I really enjoyed making that video. I also enjoyed making a video on the Sigma grind set and just Sigma males in general. because it's so bizarre. And it's like these AI voiced videos talking about the most nonsensical stuff you've ever heard of. A lot of you guys like saying to me the thing I was repeating in the video, where it was saying that like alpha males go by the nickname bad boy.
The alpha male personality is the most popular. This personality type goes with the nickname bad boy, goes with the nickname bad boy, bad boy, bad boy.
That just made me laugh so much. I also really love the way the AI says bullied. He says bullied.
They are the guys who were quiet while in school and slightly nerdy as well, and were probably bullied.
Because the AI was quite realistic, I kind of thought it might have been a real person for a while. Its use of the English language and saying stuff like bullied did finally make me realise I was listening to an AI. But moving on from that, the nofap stuff was very linked to the Sigma male stuff. They often go together. That was a fun video to make because it was totally insane that they believed through this they could reach the quantum realm. It was just hilarious sometimes to make these videos. Quite concerning with how much anti-science stuff these videos push, but I do really enjoy making them. And then just some other ones. I did really enjoy the Kavernacle art, where I cancelled like Mr. Beast multiple times, Salt Bae, and Chris Pratt. That was a lot of fun. So many Americans are getting so angry with me with the Mr. Beast video. I've seen a lot of people respond to me saying like, how could you criticize Mr. Beast? He's such a good guy. He gives money away. He's basically like a walking charity. He's the best guy ever lived. Honestly, being cynical about people is a good thing. And this guy does have controversial things that I can talk about. I also like my COD Vanguard video essay. And don't worry, I didn't buy the game. I was gifted it for my birthday by one of my brothers. But that was just nice to like analyze a Call of Duty game and to get a lot of views for it. Like, I think it's on like 35k views. And for someone who makes politics content and then can talk about video games, Sigma males, all this different stuff, and for all of it to get viewed is just very rewarding for me. Like, I started my channel in 2017 just talking about random stuff, sometimes politics, sometimes religion, sometimes movies, sometimes video games, and I didn't really know what direction I wanted to take it. And then in like 2019, I really doubled down on like the electoral politics, and then in like mid 2020, I kind of changed it up with like political topics, but also internet culture, and that's really where my channel has found its niche. But it's just so nice to talk about everything I like and for it to do well. Like, my channel isn't me trying to appeal to a market broadly. Like, there's marketing elements. You have to make a good thumbnail and a catchy title. But genuinely, all this stuff just really interests me and I like making videos on it. So that's why it's so nice to have such a diverse set of content where I can talk about like really in detailed boring political topics to some people, like Nordic socialism or something, and then I can make a review of Call of Duty and for both of them to do well. It's just such a nice thing as someone who's so passionate about so many different things. I can just upload it on YouTube and you guys will watch it. So thanks a lot for that. I just want to get a bit personal now, like the rewarding aspects, I guess, of this year. So it's been really cool getting to know people a lot more, like my Discord, my YouTube subs, obviously, my Twitter, my Instagram. The growth has just been like really nice. It's been really cool to be followed by people I respect. I know this is like a bit lame. You guys might think I'm a nerd with this. Being followed by Klein was cool, but being followed by Anti-SJWs was really cool to me because I've watched TYT since like 2011 and I've always liked watching it and I still watch it today, like for my news coverage and everything like that. And I was actually inspired to do YouTube in the first place by the people at TYT. So watching them for years and then have someone from there who you really admire follow you, it's just really cool. It's quite nerdy. I understand they could like unfollow me tomorrow. They might have even unfollowed me by the time I post this. But just the fact they followed me like kind of out of nowhere. Do these people, Ethan, Anna, and some other people actually watch my videos? It's kind of cool to think they have just because I like these people. Also this year, the subscriber growth's just been crazy. Like, I said I quit my job and I was in such a bad place. This time last year, I was in such a bad place mentally. I'd quit my job so I was happy, but the thought of getting back and looking for jobs again. I did that for a whole year after university and maybe even like begging for something I didn't want to do, maybe having an awful boss again, awful colleagues. I really didn't want to go back to that so quickly. And I said to myself, you can have 3 months. 3 months, just do YouTube. Don't look at LinkedIn, don't look at Indeed, just focus on YouTube. And literally the first video I uploaded, January 2nd, I think blew up straight away. I hit 20k subs within the first month of doing this full time. And yeah, it's just gone so well. There's been grinds, there's been downsides. I had my whole channel demonetized in March. I've been facing a lot of demonetization issues this month, but honestly, getting like 20k subs in the last 2 and a bit months, getting loads and loads of views. Regularly my videos get like 50k views, 100k views. It's just so crazy. And, you know, you get a lot of hate. I've had people like Destiny make videos on me. I've had other people make videos on me. And a lot of their fans come and hate. But at this point, I've been doing YouTube so long, I'm used to the hate comments. I don't really care anymore. It kind of just bounces off. And it's obviously offset by so many of you writing me really, really nice messages. Like, I love all your comments. I read all the comments, but I really hope you understand I get way too many comments and messages and everything. I just cannot respond to all of them. I try, especially with Instagram. Some of you might be watching and thinking like, you haven't responded to my message for a week. I'm thinking about it right now, but sometimes I just don't have the time, and I might have just done like a really long day of recording and editing. I just really don't have the energy to respond to a conversation we're having about politics or something serious. So I do apologize for that. I do apologize if I've ever left you hanging and stuff. You just got to understand I get so many messages and comments. I just simply cannot respond to them all. But also I just really like being my own boss. So I'm going to look back on this year really, really fondly, because who knows how long I'll do YouTube in terms of like, I want to do it for as long as possible, but there's so many external things. But it's just so nice after having such an awful job experience, being able to have my own schedule, have my own structure, make what I want, and like I said, it all do well, and get like a lot of views for it considering my channel size. That's all just been like really, really rewarding. So that is like my year on YouTube. The first year I've been doing it full time, and all in all, it's just been a great experience. I work really hard, make no mistake. I probably do over 40 hours a week doing this stuff, but I enjoy it. I used to make 3 videos a week while working full time. So to me, it hardly even feels like a job at sometimes. Sometimes, you know, on a Friday night and it's like 4 a.m. and I'm editing, I'm a bit like, oh, like I'm a bit tired. This video, I'm going to be editing really, really late, and I will be like, oh my God, like, just let me enjoy Christmas already. Again, it's worth it for doing this thing as a job. In terms of my personal life away from YouTube, I haven't really done too much significant. I'd say like driving to Scotland and around Scotland for like 9 or so days was really amazing. Like, my favorite moment of the year in terms of like physically was driving over the Scottish border. We went through the middle and we went for like a national park, and it was really, really hilly. We stopped at the border. There's a big flag, a nice little bit of history talking about like the Romans coming there. We went to Hadrian's Wall by accident. We found it on the way, and it was just like so amazing to drive through that landscape. I'd never really driven around England much in my whole life. The only place I've really gone is Southampton and around London and stuff. So just going to like the north of England, going to the Yorkshire Dales, going to the Highlands, going to literally the furthest points north of the UK, and just thinking about like how desolate it was there. Very, very stressful. I did have some neurological issues because of the stress that I hadn't had since I was working, but it was worth it. Probably if I did it again, I wouldn't stay in a different place every single night. That would probably alleviate some of the stress. Again, amazing trip. I'll never forget it. Of course, we couldn't go to any other countries during the time, but I'm really happy we did that. I love English history. I've been banging out Assassin's Creed Valhalla this year, totally loving it. So to be able to drive around England and then play a game like that, that was very, very cool. So just a quick few things for the end of this video. Here are some of my favorite things of 2021, just generally, if you care about that stuff. In terms of media, I haven't really watched too many films at all. I like Dune a lot. Not as good as Blade Runner 2049. That was solid. In terms of TV shows, again, I've been really not keeping up with TV shows lately. I've been enjoying Vikings a lot, playing in tandem with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Some of the Marvel stuff's been okay. Loki was okay. WandaVision was okay. Hawkeye's been okay. Falcon and Winter Soldier was, you know, alright and stuff. I need to catch up on my TV shows. I'm just too hung up on like watching Mr. Robot again and stuff like that. In terms of other media, in terms of albums, I really love Church's Screen Violence that came out this year. I also really love Kings of Leon's When You See Yourself. I'm a massive fan of both of these bands. And it's really nice when you like a band, you guys will know this feeling, and they like really knock it out of the park with an album, because sometimes when you like a band like Kings of Leon, for example, who've been around for a long, long time, like coming on to 20 years soon, and they have albums that aren't as good sometimes, but then they come back with something really good. It's very, very satisfying. Churches are a band I've always liked for the last like 7 or so years, but I've never really loved that album like totally, but this album is so good, so I'm really happy. Also check out their song Death Stranding, which was of course using Death Stranding. That's an amazing song. My games of the year probably like Cyberpunk 2077, Assassin's Creed Valhalla and the DLCs. Like going to like Dublin and Ireland in that game, I think that's the first time I've ever been to Ireland in a video game, and obviously as someone with an Irish background, very, very cool. Got me really interested in Irish history. Again, with the other stuff in the game, I just love learning about all the history of this place. Visualizing what England would look like in the 800s is really, really cool. Cyberpunk's world building is just amazing. The aesthetic, the soundtrack. I've just been listening to like ambient cyberpunk playlists whenever I edit, like constantly this year. That and Assassin's Creed Valhalla's soundtrack are literally my top in my Apple Music playlist and just on YouTube and stuff. Super, super love this stuff. And then apart from that, like I've just been so busy with YouTube, I haven't had loads of time to game. I bought myself an Xbox Series S, been banging out the new Halo, been enjoying that, enjoying Death Stranding, Director's Cut. Apart from that, not really too much to talk about. In terms of like games coming out this year, it's been pretty weak. I feel like my favorite games were actually released late last year. Watch Dogs Legion, I gave another chance to. I completely rejected that when I first played it. I was like, not as good as the other Watch Dogs games. Got back in when they released the DLC, which was a sequel to both 2 and 1. Really loved the DLC, mainly about Aiden. And then I went back and finished the main game, and I really loved it. And I realised the politics of this game, very, very good. Very left-wing, portraying a post-Brexit dystopia in London, but feels like it's coming true right now, especially based on the last year of English politics. I really like this game, and I would give it a chance. So I guess we'll wrap it up there. The last video of 2021, I don't even know how many videos I've done this year, probably too many, but I'll just say at the end of the video, thanks so much to my patrons, of course, for supporting me, especially the people who've been along, longer than this year. Really, really grateful. Thank you to all my subscribers. I know the main people, to be honest, like who've been around for ages. A lot of you have actually been around for like 2 years, over 2 years at this point, and it's really great. Obviously, I appreciate the live stream crew. You guys know who you are. Thank you for all the super chats and all just the fun conversations this year. The highlight was my birthday stream. Then we were just talking about like Cream Hog and other stuff like that. It was so much fun. I've been enjoying playing games with you guys as well. Playing Mario Kart, playing Tetris, playing Rocket League even on stream with the chat has been super, super fun. So getting to know so many of you guys has been a really great experience. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the messages. Thanks just all the support. Like you guys have been like so nice to me. One thing I wanted to tweet the other day, but I'll just say it here. It's really nice being yourself and people accepting you, because you guys might not realize I am myself in every setting. Like people will tell you I might be like the same since I was a teenager. I'm myself in a work setting. I'm myself in like a social setting. I'm myself with my friends. I'm myself on live stream. I'm myself with anyone. I always try and be really true to myself. And the nice thing about YouTube is because you're just putting yourself out there into like the world and stuff, you don't have to like really tailor it or maybe kind of not talk about certain things because you're worried like, oh, that friend doesn't like talking about politics. That friend is not interested in sports. That friend is not interested in video games. You don't have to worry about that when you're online. You just say it, and if people like you saying it, then that's fine. So that's been really rewarding. Talking about things I like, talking about my interests, and people like responding, and we can like talk about that together. It's been a very, very nice outlet for me, especially how isolating this year has been in terms of like lockdowns and things like that. So that is probably one of the best things about being a YouTuber. Of course, people absolutely hate you for no reason. I've had that this year as well. It's something I've experienced a bit more than previous years. People absolutely hating me and just reading their hatred. It's like, I don't even know where you got that from. Like completely changing what I said about something, and then loads of people like upvoting it and calling me like a tanky and things like that. It's very bizarre to see that stuff. Just people making stuff up about you, but I guess that goes with the territory of getting a bit more prominent online. One of the weirder things I have experienced this year for sure. But anyway, that is 2021. I have loved doing YouTube this year, and let me know in the comments, what was your favorite moment in 2021, just in your personal life? If you have a favorite video of mine in 2021, please let me know down in the comments. And I hope everyone has a good New Year's Eve and the rest of the holidays. And I hope you'll be along for the ride in 2022. Like I said, I am moving to Spain for a bit. The set will change. Let's see if we have any issues going there. I'm hoping it will give me a bit more structure and make me a bit more disciplined with content and live streams and things. We will see. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and thanks so much for watching my channel throughout the whole year.